All right, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review, man. We're hanging out. Got Richard from Bullshit Detector and Liberty and Justice with me today. We're just chilling, man. We got some pretty exciting stuff going on. It looks like Bullshit Detector is going to be playing punk rock bowling, and that's awesome for somebody in my position. But I can only imagine that's pretty amazing for somebody in your position, Richard. So,
Oh yeah.
what's up, man?
Not much. I'm just at work taking a break, working on some songs for a new LP for Bullshit Detector.
That's crazy, man. I wrote like 3 songs recently, and I
Yeah,
just don't have the courage to try to like record them. Like I'm just like, man. And part of it is I'm really busy, but I don't know.
yeah, I get that.
I think I'm better at this end than I am that end. But okay, so how did this come about, man? How did punk rock bowling come about for Bullshit Detector? Because while on one hand I'm like I think it's fully deserved, it kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, whoa, what? This is awesome.
I'm not entirely sure. I just know that we were asked. A band had to drop off, and I don't know 100% all the details about that. Well, there's actually a handful of bands that dropped off the main stage, and so they contacted us, asked us if we wanted to play. Made an offer, and we said yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's so awesome. What an exciting like place to be at that time. Like I understand that sometimes with a big fest, it's kind of like, oh man, I don't know. But this is like concentrated our people everywhere within like a few blocks. It's like it's just like everywhere you look, it's like, oh, I know you. Oh, what's up, homie? Oh, how are you doing? Oh, it's a band that I like. It's kind of like you're like childhood fantasy as far as going to like a theme park of all your favorite punk bands. It's going to be a very very good time, and at least in my opinion.
No, I think it's cool as fuck. I worked for a vendor there at Punk Rock Bowling for 2 or 3 years, at least two. It might have been three, and I thought it was awesome. There's people that act like they're too punk for it and shit, but like bands that influence the entire genre play every year. I saw Iggy and the Stooges there the first year that I went, um, and and then bands that you cut your teeth on. There's everything there, and yeah, you do see people all the fucking time. You like go from your room down into the casino and go to the bar, and you see 12 people that you know from Texas, like easily. And I think that shit is fucking cool as fuck.
There is a certain amount of like youthful presence within punk, so I get all excited when this stuff happens. Like I get excited about going to LA Punk Invasion or going up to New York, but punk rock bowling is I think might be the biggest one. This is like for my what I look for. This is probably the mecca, as far as
I
festival.
I agree. Like whatever, for whatever reasons that people like or dislike it, I think punk rock bowling is a shit. I've had a great time there every time I've been, and I've gotten to see cool stuff. Like um, first year I went, Judah played as well. I saw Riot. I saw Percolate. I saw Television and the Weirdos. I snuck into that show.
Let's go.
Yeah, I like busted through the fence when the security was looking another direction. Sorry about that. And second year that I went, it was Angelic Upstarts.
Nice.
Yeah, Mincy R.I.P.
How many years have you been out there, or how many have you gone?
It was 2 or 3 years that I worked there. I was helping out at a booth that sold like band and B movie T-shirts and shit like that. Like super high volume. We sold fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shirts.
So, okay, that's something I didn't even think about. There's probably gonna be just massive amounts of vendors out there, huh?
Yeah, there are, and it's a bunch of you know cool shit that like appeals to people like us. There, Hard Times had a booth one of those years that was really close to ours, and obviously that shit's funny as hell.
Right. Dude, I had somebody the other day send me an actual thing like, "Dude, did you see this?" And then it was like it was a Hard Times thing, and I was, like, reading it, and I was like, "Hey, man, you know this is satire, right?" And he was like, "Oh, fuck,
Huh.
I'm an idiot." And I was like, "No, it's all good." But I was like, "You had me worried for a second because I didn't catch that it was a Hard Times thing at first." So I'm like reading it, and it's some horrible news. And then I was like, "Wait a minute, this doesn't sound right." And so I scroll up to the top, and sure enough, it's Hard Times. I'm like, "You motherfuckers got me." Oh, dude, that's funny, man. Yeah, dude, a bunch of vendors will be cool. I'm a sucker for that stuff, dude. I'll go down there and I'm gonna max out all my credit cards, buy a bunch of shirts I don't need, but fucking maybe I'll find some cool shit for the shop. It's
Yeah.
it's what? It's Thursday through Monday, I guess it is. I guess it's technically it's Friday through Monday, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I wonder why they have it go through Monday and they don't just start it on Thursday, end it on a Sunday. That seems like an interesting decision to me.
I'm not
I
entirely.
mean,
And that Monday is always Memorial Day.
oh duh. Yeah, I guess
But I
people are off of work.
have to go back to work on Tuesday, but I guess not. I mean, like the party. I mean, I was partying really hard back in the days that I worked there. Party goes pretty strong all the way through through Monday for sure.
So okay, what are you most excited about for this? I mean, obviously playing is probably the most exciting thing I would think.
Yeah,
Uh so y'all are playing the main stage?
yeah, we're playing main stage at 2:30 on Saturday. It's the same day that yeah, Cox Bar headlines. Power Trip, obviously, also from Texas. They're the co-headliner. I believe Bouncing Souls is that day as well. So obviously, I'm fucking stoked on that. Um, I've got a bunch of homies playing shows there. The Drowns actually, they're playing. Cox Bar is playing on Monday as well, I believe. Club show, and then Collapse from Germany.
I don't
Um,
know Collapse. I'll check them out.
Collapse is like guys from Brutal Bravo,
Oh, okay, I know that band.
uh, Complete Loss.
Man, there's so many
Uh,
fucking
it's
bands out there.
like they're on Mendeku Discog. They have it's like hardcore oi.
There's a lot of that stuff out right now where it's like blended. The two genres are blended, oi and hardcore, which I think is good because it gives you a little bit of like melody with the hardcore, and then it's also gonna almost guarantee a certain amount of no metal in it. And I'm just over the fucking knocked loose style hardcore. I just don't like it much. And I mean, to each your own, man. You like that shit, go for it, man. I don't care. I'm stoked for obviously the Cox Bar is like the whole reason that I wanted to go out there. The club show is going to be probably insane. I would think. I'm
Yeah.
pretty like psyched for that one. I'm wondering how I'm going to film this stuff. I got a new lens for my camera, so I'm thinking that it'll be okay to just hold it because it's got image stabilization. Because I was like, there's no way I'm going to have space to like set some shit up at a club show out in Vegas.
I mean, you may be able to. I don't remember what the venue is, but they're pretty accommodating for that kind of stuff.
Nice, that's awesome, man. I'm
I,
I'm, I'm very excited for that. So, okay, if you were going to go as a fan, what would it be like? You've been there before, right? So, like, what would you want to go do, or what would you recommend of like a newbie, somebody like me who's never been? What would you recommend that we try to do while we're out there? Is there a certain amount of things that you kind of have to hit while you're there, or it's not quite the experience that you want it to be?
Dude, I think so. I mean, like the festival genuinely is really cool. It's a lot to take in, you know. So I I had a because I was working for a vendor, I was able to go in and out. So I always tell people if you buy a pass, you should probably buy a fucking pass where you can go in and out, because
Right.
to get overwhelmed or like stuck in one spot. And definitely check out the club shows. That shit's where it's at. If you're staying at the Nugget, you get to go to the pool parties. Those are fucking cool as shit. And then all up and down Fremont is just a different experience than what you might get on the strip. So like it has like the vintage casinos. Obviously, if you're drinking and partying and shit like that, there's plenty of that. And the bar downstairs at the Nugget is the place you're going to see all the people that you know. You know, I sat and talked to Steve Ignorant for like 2 hours one day, just coming out the Nugget. We were both smoking a cigarette and shit. And I'm a huge fan of Crass. I, you know, cut my teeth on shit like that. So just you're gonna run into a lot of stuff. You know, there's really cool places to eat right up and down Fremont too. Probably the best hot dog I've ever had in my life, straight up.
Oh yeah, dude, a good hot dog is awesome.
Yeah, well, the dude, I don't know what all shit he put on there, but he had like a flat top cart, and he put this pineapple sauce on it with like crushed up Lay's potato chips and some other shit. It was badass.
That sounds good, actually, dude.
Sounds
Pineapples go hard on like sandwiches, like burgers and shit. I like pineapples
Dude,
on pizza.
that shit was fire for sure. And yeah, so just like allocating your time where you can, you know, see bands at the fest, make sure that you hit up the club shows, um, go to the casinos, you know, hang out at the bar, and really cool food up and down the way. They have the punk rock museum there now. I don't know what all is there or what it looks like or what it's about, so I may hit that up this year. Um, and then it's pretty easy to go on little day trips, you know, if you choose not to go to the festival or see a club show, it's pretty easy to get to other places too. So nature stuff not too far away.
Dude, you've never
Yeah,
been to the punk rock museum?
yeah, I haven't been there. That's I think that popped up since the last time I worked.
I think you'll appreciate that place. Like, look, every cool thing has its own group of haters, which I just don't understand. But that place is so important to me because I didn't get to see a lot of this stuff in person when I was young. I just wasn't allowed to go anywhere, and I didn't have the money to travel. So yeah, man, that place is pretty amazing. They're probably gonna have like little shows in there and stuff. I would think, man.
I know
Uh,
last year or the year before, because I saw friends that they set up in like a it's like a band room and they shoot almost like a music video for it.
I think the room where they do all that stuff is the actual Pennywise garage. Like, so when you go in there, if you look at it, it looks like a garage. And from what I understand, they literally took the Pennywise garage where they practiced for like their whole career and just transported it to this fucking building, dude. Like,
That's sick. Yeah.
yeah, so you're like in there with all their old posters, their carpets in there. Like it's wild, dude. Like it looks and feels like an old California garage. It's awesome.
See, I love that because I've never been a Pennywise fan, but I don't hate on them, and they were so fucking key to the development of me accessing like punk rock, you know, because they were on the Epitaph shit, and I remember, you know, hearing them and being like, not I wasn't super particularly into them, but I was into stuff that I was introduced to through that, you know, and
Right.
and then having the like, hey, this band got fucking huge and they did really well for themselves and they influenced so much music and they really encapsulated this like 90s sound, and we're still practicing in a garage, you know, and it still had some of the like, it just shows where punk comes from, you know, or where it's supposed to come from at least.
You've never played this festival, obviously, so I'm assuming you're excited to play it, right?
Oh, dude, yeah. I think it's I mean it's an honor really, and I mean that, and it's a really cool opportunity for a band that straight up was just a recording project originally with me and Evo from the old Lower Class Brats lineup. It was a pandemic project that I started in my house. I had like no intention at all of doing anything but playing a show every once in a while. And I even said, I was like, we'll put out like a 7 inch or two and break up. Like that was like,
Crazy.
yeah,
Holy shit. So like is that what that tape comes from?
sort of. Yeah. I mean, we put out the original demo with a guy from Metal Urbane, old French proto punk band. He recorded it. And then we did like a couple versions of that. And then we did that live practice recording, and that was the quarantine sounds. It's horrible except for a couple of tracks on there. Um, and that was all. I mean, we didn't play a show for 2+ years or something. You
Well,
know?
I think I'm partial to that tape because when I ran into you and I hadn't seen you in like 15 years or something, and I was like, oh shit, and over at that place on Ojimon,
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think that's when you gave me that tape. You're like, here, and I got a couple of things from you, but that's when I first heard you guys recorded, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So like, I'm a little partial to it because of that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're putting one of those songs on that CD. I think that's a smart move. People are excited about that song. I played it a couple times on the stream, and people are like, "Yo, where can I get that?" I'm like, "Dude, calm down. Give me like 3 weeks, bro. It's just
Yeah.
it's rocking and rolling, man. People, it's
It's
happening. I got an email yesterday. It's in production, so we'll have them very soon. But
yeah. We'll take those with us to Punk Rock Bowling as well. So like a bunch of people who never heard us before, and then that's got all the shit on it.
so from a fan's perspective at Punk Rock Bowling, what bands are you excited to like get off the stage, be done with your set, and then go watch? I would imagine Coxbar is probably up there on your list, but who else are you interested in watching?
Yeah, I mean, Coxbar is definitely up there. It says on the thing that this is supposed to be their last appearance, and I don't know if that means last appearance at Punk Rock Bowling, which very well could be the case, or last appearance in general. But I mean, I don't the I don't know if I've ever seen Coxbar all the way through where there wasn't some like crazy ass fight, and so I mean, it's San Antonio. So I'm excited to see them. I'm not a huge fan of Bouncing Souls, but I like them. And I'm really stoked to see them because any footage I've ever seen of them playing was badass, you know. Um, and then of course seeing any of the homies like the Drowns, seeing Collapse at the club show. Hot Water Music's playing a club show as well.
Yes, I
And
can't wait for that.
yeah, if they play basically anything pre-caution, when they sounded a little bit different, like the hot water music I was exposed to in the 90s.
Right.
Be stoked on that fucking shit. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I mean, the club shows I think are going to be much more like deep cut fan oriented. I would think. I don't know this because obviously I've never been to one of these, but like it feels like, oh, if you're coming to Vegas and you want to go see us in a club setting, we have a different set list than if we were going to go play this giant thing where we were just going to knock off the hits, maybe 2 or 3 deep cuts. It might be like you know, and they're headlining too, so it might be a little bit longer set than say
Yeah.
25-30 minutes. So
I'm really stoked on. I'm uh, not a huge fan of Social Distortion, but I cut my teeth on them. You know,
right.
I listened to Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. I don't know how many fucking times when I was a kid.
That's my favorite record by them.
And I listened to that song Prison Bound probably more than I listened to Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell.
Good song.
Um, and and then the Damned. I mean, like the Damned in all like eras of that band are a huge and probably obvious influence on Bullshit Detector. I fucking love the Damned. I like it when they were early punk doing neat, 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 and then I like all the spooky shit that they did later too. It was that's the fucking shit.
I'm not going to even front like I'm a big fan of that band. I've grown to like their early stuff. Okay, I don't know, man. I have really I'd say bad music taste at this point. Like I just like what I like, and people fucking shit on me about it all the time. But
Don't matter.
I don't give a shit, man. Social Distortion. I think what you said is exactly how I feel. Like I'm not really like their biggest fan anymore because I've just kind of older, been around. I've heard. I had a phase where that's all I listened to, but it's Social Distortion. I kind of want to go watch them play and be like, yeah,
Dude, fuck
get
yeah.
some.
Like it's another one of those things that I would kind of liken to Pennywise, and none of this is like me saying anything negative. It's just in terms of like my preferences, right? So whether I would cite Social Distortion as being an influence on me, it wasn't, musically it was an influence on me in punk, and it's
Right.
super fucking important to honor those bands as predecessors to the things that we do now.
Dude, if you can't tip your cap to these people, then what are you doing there? In my opinion, uh, I think it's cool that Power Trip's playing. I know that Riley's gone, and that sucks. I mean, we both knew him. Like that wasn't just some singer in a band to us.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's weird for me to see this, but I also understand that there was 4 other people involved. So it's like, well, what do they get to do? Like they can't have something that they created, and it's kind of I'm interested in it, but it's a little weird if I was honest.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak too much as to the controversy of it because I don't know it, but um I heard that there's some, but I'm I'm stoked that they're playing, and I hung with Riley a bunch. I'm sure that he'd be into it, because
That's how I feel.
it really is his legacy, and I'm not speaking any official capacity, obviously, but um I mean, it's his legacy, like, living out. And that band, man, I remember when they started and everyone being like, oh, just fucking want to be Iron Age. And like, and then they fucking blew up in a way that no one, I don't even think we were all fully aware of how big they got because that was happening somewhere else. You know what I mean? And, and then like, looking back on it, I mean, I remember they played Riot Fest when it came through Dallas, and I went with my ex-wife because she wanted to see the Descendants and Less Than Jake on the other stage.
Nice.
And Riley was like, "Oh, hey, we're playing on this other stage over here. If you want to," he was like, "if you want to just like hop up backstage and watch." And dude, there was like fucking 600 kids in front of him or something, and I was like, "Well, this is different than seeing him at Red 7."
Right, right.
Like,
73 people there, all drunk, hanging out.
and it was funny because like um Riley was like, "Yo, Richard, what's up?" And he was like, "You here to see Les and Jake or what?" And he was like making fun, and I was like, "Actually, yeah, that's why my wife wanted to come."
Dude, he was a funny dude. I didn't know him like super super well, but we were friendly enough to like send an email every now and then. I don't even remember how we got in touch like that, but I remember he sent me a photo and he was like, "Hey, check this out," and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "I'm standing on a stage." I was like, "Is that people?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
What is
Like
that?
like you said, like they blew up outside of like our circle. So like
Yeah,
we see them, we hang out. It's just like the people that live down the road from us. And like you said, like Iron Age was on the like cusp of being really big, and then Power Trip comes through, and it's like a similar sound, and it just you got to wonder how that made Iron Age feel sometimes, bro. Like, yo, what? Like, we've been doing
yeah,
this shit for 18 months. Like, what's going on? But when you go listen to the two bands, they were pretty different sounds actually. But
absolutely, absolutely. It was just like that beginning part. Everyone was like, "Who the
yeah,
f- is this?"
yeah, yeah. I played Iron Age on the stream the other day, and people were like, "What is this?" I was like, "Bro, get the fuck! What are you talking about, man?" I was like, "I put all these names everywhere. Here, go listen to this, man. It's really good."
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Iron
I,
Age was
I
the
love
shit.
I love the Iron Age demo when Chris Fast was playing drums, and it just sounded like super early Cro-Mags. I fucking love that demo. I wish I still had it because surely in the like pile of fucking CDs I just pulled out of storage, it's like be somewhere in there.
Dude, anything that you come across like that that's kind of old, hard to get, like let me know if you don't mind. I will come get a bunch of it and archive it all, and I'll put it on like a hard drive and then bring it back to you.
Yeah, you know what? Let me see. I'm trying to think of where I have that shit because I might have some even older stuff too, like the Recover demo from like
Damn.
90,000. And then what was that band that shit that Lukey Luke from Warzone and Gorilla Biscuits was in? Oh, Valorum. I think I have their demo. Austin band.
Anything that you have that's on, I can get anything on cassette, vinyl, or CD, like onto a hard drive, and then just I'll drive it back to you or something. But if you care to do that, I like doing that kind of shit. To me, it's important. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this festival. Bouncing Souls is a band that I'm really pumped to see, dude. Like I really, really,
Be so much fucking fun.
dude. I've
Uh,
got Hopeless Romantic tattooed on my knuckles, bro. Like that band
oh,
is, oh, dude, they're like super, super, and it's like real shitty tattoos too. It's like the best kind, bro. Just
yeah, that's basically all I have.
yeah, dude, it's like a real just like I was supposed to go get it redone and I just never had time. Like I was just like I got shit to do.
Yes, yeah, man, I lived like I never dove real deep into them, but I lived in a well, I met this dude in San Marcos that had like an old video, and it was like I think maybe it was a Revelation Records video. It was a hardcore thing, but it showed, and it would show like old New York hardcore bands, but then also had Bouncing Souls on it as well because they have like ties to the hardcore scene, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I stayed at this punk house for a year or more, fucking gross as shit. And one of the guys that lived there jammed them constantly all the fucking time. And so like a lot of my exposure was kind of like they were going on around me, you know.
Yeah, like secondary. You're like, who is this? You're like, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not so bad. You're bobbing your head. Then all of a
yeah,
sudden you start liking one of their songs because it's on all the time. You're like, shit,
I
man. I
like
didn't,
punk shit.
dude. I like Lean on Sheena. I just found out that wasn't even their song. It kind of made me sad. I was like, what the fuck? It's a Avoid One Thing. That's members of the Boss Tones. It's like their original song, and Bounce Souls covered it. I had no idea. But listen to that shit for 20 years, man. All right, I got a list of bands pulled up here. So we got I look, dude. People say what they want. The Interrupters put on a fucking good show, man. I cannot
I don't
wait to
know
watch them.
about them, but people say that a lot. Yeah.
Dude, they put on a great show. Um, the Damned will be obviously awesome to check out. I
Yep.
think that they're one of those bands that once I see them play live, I'm gonna have a lot more interest in them because like I hadn't listened to Subhumans in like 15 years, really, right? I watched them the other night. That's all I've been listening to because they were so good live. I was like, God, they fucking still got it, man.
That's
Like,
fair.
yeah, dude, it was awesome. Uh Riverboat Gamblers, another Austin band. They still out of Austin? I don't fucking know, but they were.
Yeah, I believe so. Um, they're super fun live.
They're very good live.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that band Dracula's that had Homeboy from River City, Riverboat Gamblers, and then
Yeah.
dude from what's that band he's in? Is that like a pop punk pop hardcore band? What the fuck's it called? Rise Against? Yeah, that dude. But
Oh
Code
yeah,
of
yeah. No,
Venus,
I knew Dracula's for sure.
yeah, they're pretty good. I just discovered them recently. I think Chris Klink turned me on to them. Code of Venus will be a popular one. People will be there for them.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Laura Jane Grace does because I'm assuming there will be little to no Against Me songs, but there might be. And if they bust out with Thrash Unreal, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. That's probably one of my top 10 songs of all time. That song, dude, that one gets me, man. I've had nights where I sat in my room and listened to that shit on repeat, just crying because I couldn't get off fucking junk. What the fuck is wrong with me? And fucking, I'll be all right, man. I'll be all right. And then like 6 hours later, I'm back at the fucking spot, like fucking.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's hear it for sobriety. Oh god, dude, I'm a boring person these days, but boy, do I have stories.
That's
Um, well, Youth Brigade, I didn't even realize they were playing. I think I did.
Oh yeah, Youth Brigade's Saturday as well. Shout out to the Stearns for including us on this thing. Youth Brigade's sick. I love seeing that band, and I love seeing like original dudes still doing it and super involved in shit.
Right, that shit matters, man. It's nice to see that we have some old school dudes. Who was I talking to the other day? They told me that Casualties had no original members, and I was like, Jake's not an original member. I had no idea. That one kind of blew my fucking mind too. But let's see, we got man Frank Turner. Like I'm not really into that kind of stuff too much, but I think he'll have a good turnout. I might go hang out and watch it.
I saw Frank Turner when we were on tour in Europe. We had an off day and we saw some big ass fucking festival out in the woods in Austria. Like our driver took us out there and we spent the day out there and Frank Turner played. And it was fucking awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like the show. I've gone back and listened to some stuff on record and I can make comparisons and say this or that. But like I liked it live and it made me want to dive into it a little bit more. They were really cool.
see that's what happens is like I'll have an opinion on a band and it's not like a concrete opinion. It's just kind of like meh, take it or leave it. And then I'll catch them live and I'm like, oh shit, I definitely had them, pegged wrong. Uh, who else was I thinking about the other day that happened with? I have like my little list of bands and I kind of just stick with what I like. And then
I get
I'm
it.
kind I'm kind of a shithead, so I talk shit when I shouldn't. I'm like, oh fucking bleh. And people are like, yeah, when did you start listening to them? I'm like, just played it one day instead of talking shit. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's funny, bro. You ever heard Amigo the Devil? That
Yeah.
dude's popping off, bro.
Yeah. So many of my friends are, and that's one that I have like written down that I didn't get around to listening to, but so many of my friends are into that.
Yeah.
Every time he comes through, I see like video after video people I know at the show.
Yeah, that's gonna probably be a fair bit of people there for that one. A lot of people like outside of like street punk and oi will probably be into that shit because it's got a much broader audience.
That's something I appreciate.
Me too. No, no, for sure. I think it's gonna be cool to see all the people that aren't from the scene necessarily, quote unquote, that are like hanging out. Because like you got to think, there's people that like you and I go to shows like as often as we can, or at least I do. I want to go film stuff, and like you play a bunch of shows, you're always at these places. But there's people that simply can't do that. They don't have the money, or they don't have somebody to watch their kids. So like somebody was explaining to me, like, yeah, this is the one thing that they get to go do. So don't
I,
shit
I,
on it.
I explained punk rock bowling to a lot of people. It's like there's all these older motherfuckers who like grew up with punk, cut their teeth on punk, have some like experience with it, and they live another life. And then this is like the 4 days out of the year they plan all fucking year to come out to the shit, party like tomorrow's their last day, and then they go back to real life, and you feel that vibe there. It's cool. I think that's a really really cool thing, and kind of part of the, not to get all philosophical, but the service that it offers people is that like fun break in the middle of their otherwise mundane year.
I mean, that's what it's about. Like, we are the lucky ones, even though it's a pain in the ass sometimes to do what we do, but we still get to do it. But some people just simply can't or don't think that they can.
Don't
And
think.
yeah, don't think that they can. But come out, man, hang out. This is going to
Yeah,
be so much fun, dude.
yeah, I say the same. Like, anyone is welcome to come talk to me. I like that shit. It makes me feel nice.
So, what else is there to do at this stuff? So, there's the pool parties. You said it's at the Nugget.
Yeah,
That's where I'm staying.
believe
So,
they I believe they've had some other places. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, one of the things that I really really like to do was wake up fucking late and go down to the pool and dick around till I had to go work. It was awesome. Everybody's out there, and then it's like that's how they get going to start the party again.
as being somebody that's been to this before, so everything is kind of concentrated in one area, right? Is it all pretty like walking distance from Fremont?
Yeah, it's all like easily walkable right there.
Because I was talking to one of the people I'm going with. Shout out Kevin in Valhalla Cinema, uh, and he's letting me crash with them. And I was like, "Yo, I can get a car." I said, "I'll rent a car. We can have." He's like, "Bro, we don't need a car." I was like, "What?" I'm not used to Houston, bro. You need a car to do anything. So I was just assumed we would need a car.
Yeah, everything's really walkable, man. Everything that you would need. If you're trying to go see bands, they're right there. If you're trying to go hop in the pool, it's downstairs. If you want to go to the casino, you're fucking surrounded by them. If
Right.
you buy some beer to take up to your room, there's fucking 100,000 places to do that. There's like a taqueria that has some of the most badass fucking tacos like right across the way. Um, if you want to go to the dispensary and get some fucking weed, it's right there too. Like there's just everything. It's that whole place is geared towards you having a good time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know it'll probably cost more, but I think I'm finally gonna get a tattoo on a trip. I don't care what it is really. I don't care the size of it. I just want something to fill in a space that's not tattooed on my body.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think I want to hit some casinos. I like gambling because I'm real finicky with money because I've never had any. So like when I gamble, I feel like I do it pretty intelligently. I'm pretty excited to do that, man. I'm gonna play blackjack. I've never actually played blackjack like at a setting like that, but
Dude, go hit the penny slots. You won't have to spend a bunch of money, and then, you know, you may win something, and then if you don't, you lost $20 or some shit.
well, hey man, if you are gonna be at Punk Rock Bowling Saturday main stage, you said 2:30.
Yeah, Saturday main stage 2:30. That's same day as Cox Bar Power Trip. But I'll be hanging out through Tuesday morning, I believe. So yeah, I uh, hope to see some folks out there, and shit, just have a good time for a few days.
Hell yeah. I'll run into you, man. We got chapter 1, 2019, 2024 on CD coming real soon. You can get it through Bandcamp. Find Richard, get it through them. If we need more copies, I'll make them. Just support this band. Go to Punk Rock Bowling, support that festival and those bands. And of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel, support us if you can. Otherwise, man, just have a good time. We'll see you there, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Richard, for your time, bro. Appreciate it, man. Have a good day. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Hi, Doc. See ya.
All right. Later, man.